Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and I am finally done with travel for quite some time, at least a couple of months or so, I hope. And so we are going to get back to a regular schedule here. Thank you for hanging out and sticking with me as I've been totally hit and run with videos and podcasts. We're going to get back to that consistency you know and love because I'm going to have the time now, finally. And so with that, today we are actually talking about Facebook once again, because it seems like I've done quite a few Facebook videos over the past month or so. What we're talking about now is Facebook actually killed the team that they had internally that was researching social media addiction. Because of course. Now, this is coming from Extreme Tech by way of the Wall Street Journal, but I thought they had a really good write-up on this. And here's what's going on. In what appears to be, at first, good news, basically those new whistleblower documents showed that Facebook had a team responsible for reporting on and solving unhealthy social media use. This is actually something outside of this article here that Facebook had said, well, we have world-class researchers. Why, this is what we're doing. Why would we have these things if we didn't actually care? Now, we'll get to that because this team, which was focused solely on user well-being, investigated the ways in which people used Facebook and was tasked with finding ways to improve upon the platform, basically hopefully helping these people that might be addicted. Now, according to these internal documents of Facebook's that were essentially seen by the Wall Street Journal, Facebook actually shut this team down in 2019. And what's worse, the team appears to have been on basically the cusp of making major suggestions that could have benefited users at the cost of time spent on the platform, which obviously is crucial to Facebook's revenue. And so there you go. So my speculation, they saw which way the wind was blowing, the leadership, and said, oh my God, if these come out as actual suggestions, we may have to lose revenue by virtue of this. And so they just simply shuttered the team. That is my speculation. That is not what Extreme Tech or the Wall Street Journal said. Now, before they were disbanded, these researchers on the team conducted a survey of 20,000 users on Facebook and found that 1 in 8 engaged in what they called problematic use of that platform. Now, problematic use, they said, produced a variety of negative effects on key aspects of that user's life. Some reported loss of productivity. Others said that their sleep was impacted because they were up into the night scrolling and looking at disturbing content. Users also reported deterioration within their own interpersonal relationships. Parents even avoided their children in favor of spending more time online. One user missed a family member's wedding because they were watching a video on Facebook. That one is mind-boggling to me. Another one said that it was common for them to browse the app until 2 a.m., obviously making it difficult for them to wake up or feel rested the next day, and repeat and repeat and repeat. Now, it isn't comforting, though, obviously, in the face of Facebook's recent rebrand Meta, during which Zuckerberg publicly basically said was aimed at blurring the lines between the real world and the virtual world by building out a metaverse. That's essentially their goal here. This metaverse is virtual reality world that you can live in. And can you imagine the time that people will actually spend in a virtual world compared to just scrolling through a news feed on like a regular Facebook? Oh my God, you want to talk about addiction? It's not going to be 1 in 8. It might be 6 in 8. Who knows? Now, Facebook's internal documents reveal that the company knew its platform was more frequently associated with addictive use than other major online experiences such as Reddit, which seems pretty addictive, YouTube, which people watch a ton of videos, and even World of Warcraft, which is an immersive, basically you in a virtual world controlling a character doing quests and all that kind of stuff. And Facebook was more addictive. Now, the whistleblower, Frances Haugen, who I've mentioned a zillion times here, spoke last month about how Facebook is designed to reward controversial and sometimes downright hateful content due to the way its algorithms favor engagement above all else. One of Facebook's subsidiary is Instagram, which I've talked about, and I've talked about that before, basically found that Instagram has a uniquely poor impact on its users thanks to these algorithms. I talked about this, especially in teen girls, how just devastating Instagram has been. But despite this, Facebook has only made a half-hearted attempt at improving its platform to address these specific issues. They literally got rid of the team that was supposed to do this. And those half-hearted issues are they added a time management tool to their mobile app in 2018, as well as a quiet mode to mute notifications in 2020. That's right, very recently. But that last feature was hidden among the app's settings, and Facebook's algorithms still push unsavory content to the top of your feed because that's what gives them the most money. Facebook recently quashed an outside attempt at helping people curb overuse of the app, so it's basically likely that we're not going to see any real strides towards well-being in the near future at all. They've come under a lot of fire. I think that was probably the reason why they spread up this rebranding. I'm willing to bet that Meta probably would have been different, but all of this stuff is coming to light of just how harmful Facebook has had. They knew this was coming. They knew a report was coming out. They were on the cusp of getting a report essentially from their internal team saying, we have a problem with addiction. And so instead of actually facing that, addressing that, even if their decision was to do nothing, they simply killed that team so that team couldn't essentially get out and report it. And that is absolutely insane to me. I mean, there seems to be no consequences to this. We're not seeing enough action at, let's say, the governmental level to actually thwart this. And I've done videos and podcasts over the years. You know, I've talked about this for years and years and years and years. And Frances Haugen has backed up pretty much everything I and others have been reporting on. But it's time to actually do something about this. So I'm going to keep hammering this home. It is time, essentially, to put Mark Zuckerberg on trial for these obvious things. If we can basically put Elizabeth Holmes basically on trial for lying to investors about the capabilities of Theranos, there's no reason why we can't put Mark Zuckerberg on trial for essentially knowing, or rather having him know that he knew that this was basically dangerous and harmful, and he did nothing to prevent this. Imagine knowing that, you're going to have a car heading towards a tree and you don't tell the driver. That's essentially what we're talking about here, and this is a huge issue. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter, where you might get addicted. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well, where you might get addicted, but less so than Facebook. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please stay private. Thanks, everyone.